Okay, okay, Tyler. So here's the after you do the rent and profit thing. Okay, the rent starts out at 1,000, and then that's your profit. Then it goes up $60. That's your profit. So if you keep doing that, when you get down to like 14, when the rent has raised up this much, you're still up to here. That gives you an idea what's going on, but it doesn't really solve the problem. Your job is to find out when you make the most profit. So we switch over to a different kind of table and say, okay, one pay raise. After one pay raise, you make this much profit. See, it's the same as over there, okay? That much profit. After the second pay raise, you make this much profit. Same as over there. After the third pay raise, you make this much profit. So we're not getting very fast. So we're going to skip down and say, okay, after the 10th pay raise, how would we get that number? Now this is where you really get into the answer to the problem. Okay, I'm going to say that again. At the 10th pay raise, or I should say, at the 10th raise of rent, okay, what happens? How do you get the profit on the 10th raise of the rent, the 10th time you'd raise the rent? Okay, so that's where this comes in. When you raise on the 10th time, every time you raise it, $60. So 10 times 60, by this time you would have been raising the rent $600. So we're going to call X the number of times. X represents the 10, or any of these. You'd times it by 60. Then, which is $600. Then you'd add that $600 to the starting rent of 1,000. And that'll give you your rent after 10 raises. Then, so after you get your rent, then you say, okay, how many apartments would you have then? Well, it went down 12 units every time. So if this X is your 10th time, 10 times 12 is 120. It would have gone, this number 420 would have gone down 120 by 120 units. Whatever that number is, that's the number of occupied units. Then if you multiply the occupied units by the price of what it costs for each unit, okay, let me label these. This right here is the occupied units. Occupied units. And you multiply that by the price of I should say the rent. Okay, that'll tell you how much money you're bringing in. Then you got to subtract, your costs, the insurance and all that. Well, again, you're going to have this. That's the number of units you have. And for each one of those, you have to pay $100. So that's why you multiply these. So I'm going to back up so you can see this whole equation. So that's what you have to, well, let's just do it this, you can write it down. That's what you have to do. You have to do the algebra and times all that out to see what you get. Okay? So once you, the answer I think is 450,000 something. I've got it written down somewhere. I have to go home right now. I'm at school, so I will figure the rest out at home and text you. All right.